All right, Bucks fans and football fans in general. This is the Buc Ball Podcast. I believe it's the 16th Buc Ball Podcast. But I'm gonna start off by doing a little bit of housekeeping. I want to talk about some college here for a minute. I am a huge Florida State fan. Obviously, this season has not gone the way we want it, and we're gonna be losing a good three or four players on defense to the draft. Um, I think all of our wide receivers are. I think one of our wide receivers is eligible to go, but maybe he stays. But let's talk about these Hurricanes real quick. This is scary because their whole defense only has one senior. That means they're all coming back. Their quarterback's coming back. Their running backs are coming back. The damn turnover chain's probably coming back. I mean, this team is for real. I don't know if they can beat Bama, but this team is for real. So if there are any Hurricanes fans that listen to this podcast, I'm giving you props from a Florida State fan. I got into a little argument with somebody on Twitter about how I can't wait to play them next year when we actually have a quarterback. I'm not saying DeAndre Francois is all world talent, but you can't deny that he has talent. And he said, "Oh my God, here we go. The game isn't won or lost with one player," and I think that's complete bullshit because the quarterback is the only person who can win you the game and lose you the game at the same time. Now, with that being said, man, our defense played so well against Clemson. They were getting us stops, fumbles, turnovers, interceptions, whatever you want to say. They were doing it all. They were getting pressure. They actually looked like they belonged. And then, what does James Blackman do? Throws an interception. And I feel bad for the kid because it was 17-14 and the game was still in reach and he throws the interception, just doesn't see the safety, just completely reading his eyes. And he's a true freshman, man. They're going to make mistakes, you know? But the season's over. We're probably not even going to be bowl eligible for the first time in God knows how many years. I think since the 70s. So, there's that. Um, the Alabama game, that was a nail biter. I was sitting here thinking that we're finally going to see the first time ever where 1, 2, and 3 goes down. Shout out to Mississippi State for that. That was a great game. Um, Miami's going to be in the top 4. I think it should be Bama, Miami, Oklahoma, and Clemson should stay there. There's no reason why they should move. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit of Bucks here. Oh, man. This has been a very trying football season for me. You know, usually I work, and the weekend is my escape. Get to watch some football, watch my teams, and it just hasn't been well. Like, it's just bad for my liver how bad my teams have been. Um, but side note, talk about a little bit of Bucks news here. Jameis Winston went to go see Dr. David Andrews, and that right there scared me because when you go see him, there's some problems, or you really, really, really need help. And I'm starting to think that there's more to Jameis Winston's shoulder injury than they've been really disclosing to us. But that's gonna bring me to the Bucks game versus the Saints that I watched. I watched the all 22. Took me about 2.5 hours, and I didn't even watch the final 15 minutes because I just couldn't watch it anymore. It's too painful. It's too painful. Couldn't do it. But you know the thing I noticed is I don't know what's going on with Dirk Cutter, but it just seems that our short passing game is gone. It seems like all of our throws are meant to be 10 to 12 to 15 yard, route combinations. It doesn't make sense. There's no slants. There's no running back screens. If the only screen game we got is a wide receiver screen, which I said in the last podcast, everybody and their mom knows it's coming. So I mean, I'm just sitting here wondering, like, it's 3rd and 2, and that's a passing down for us. That says something. That says something about the line. That says something about the running game. Doesn't make sense to me. I think Dirk Cutter just needs to go back to being an offensive coordinator, but that would mean that they would have to hire a new head coach, and I don't even know how that would work. But it's just frustrating. I don't know. Whenever Dirk Cutter came in 2015, our short passing game was on fire. Shuttle passes, we had everything working for us, and we had less talent, and maybe less is more. I don't know. Look at the New York Jets, who we're fixing to play today. Maybe less is more. Look what they're doing. They shipped all their stars out. They were going to complete rebuild mode. By the way, this game right here, before we go back to talking about the Saints game, today's game versus the Jets, you know how every game has like a, oh, this is a so-and-so revenge game, or this is a so-and-so whatever. This game is called the preseason everyone was wrong bowl, because the Jets were supposed to be the worst team, and the Bucs were supposed to be contending for a title or a division title. And we were all very, very wrong. But yeah, let's go back to the game notes here, which watching the All-22 was brutal. Um, Braid's dropping passes this year. I mean, he's still making incredible catches, but he's dropping a lot of passes. People are open. Jameis is missing, and it's not all on Dirk. I mean, I honestly feel like the players are going to get him fired just as much as he's going to get himself fired, because people are wide open. This offense is working. Jameis is just missing people. And I'm not sure, and I can't really blame it all on Jameis' shoulder. Of course, his shoulder has been hampering him. But this has been Jameis' MO. And I honestly think it's from being too overhyped at the beginning of games. I mean, if you go read Scott's SR Fab 5 from Pewter Report, which is a great article, I recommend everybody check it out. He puts a lot of time into it. But I've been saying the same thing that Scott said. Jameis is too overhyped in the beginning of games. He just is. He needs to calm down. I mean, less is more. Like I said, less talking, more action, just like Scott said. I've been saying this for 2 years now. I mean, it seems like every single game that it's like a nationally televised game or a make or break game or something like that, Jameis is in there rah, rah, rah. But if you don't match your play with your fiery speech, your words carry no water the next time. So, I think he just needs to calm down, get into a rhythm. You know, just be a leader. Be a leader on the field. You don't have to give a fiery speech anymore. You're not talking to 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds. You're not talking to college players. You're talking to grown-ass men that probably worked when you first came in the league. And, you know, everybody's like, damn, this kid's really passionate. He's the real deal. But when you keep doing it, it's like, man, you know, your play isn't backing it up. And that's just one thing I've noticed. That's just one way I feel. Second note I had here is the line just isn't mauling to make run room. But, I mean, for the most part, we have a clean pass pocket. But if you go look at Pro Football Focus, J.R. Sweezy's graded as one of the worst guards in the league. Like, I honestly feel like maybe he should go to the left. Kevin Pamphole should go back to the right. I mean, that was a great switch. And also, DeMar Dotson. I thought he was going to be the bad spot coming into this year, because last year he was a holding machine. And Donovan Smith's supposed to get better. Donovan Smith is like almost, I think he's tied for, I forget the stat, I was looking at it yesterday. He's tied for the most penalties by a left tackle like in the league right now. Or I think he has more. And he's regressing. He just got these heavy-ass feet. But the one thing I can't say about Donovan Smith, because I will give credit where credit is due, he saves his best game for the best players. For some reason, he plays great against really, really, really good talent. Like, whoever's in front of him, it could be J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney. He saves his best game for them. But then he has these games where you're playing lesser opponents or lesser talent. It should be a pretty close game, and you're getting beat. I just don't understand it. Jameis is always scrambling to his right. He's always scrambling to his right. And Jameis is a right-handed quarterback, so that's what they normally do. But when you're getting chased down, of course you're going to scramble to the right. And I see this more and more and more. You know, Ali Marpet's still grading as a good center. DeMar Dotson's rated as one of the best tackles in the league. But our interior guard, it's like they're... we're running zone runs. Excuse me. But we're running zone runs half the time against the Saints. And instead of Martin breaking it to the inside, because when you're running zone, you're pushing the defender towards the sideline. And when you're running zone, you're either looking for the cutback lane, or your defender's holding the guy so you can make it around the edge. But Joe Martin's not doing what he was doing in 2015. You know, he said he had the little rule. He was like, I would take 2 steps and I would pick a hole. I'd take 2 steps and I'd pick a lane, whatever. He's not doing that. And this brings me to another point. Peyton Barber needs more touches, because at least he's falling forward, or he's getting contact, or he's making a guy miss. The best running backs in the league don't have to have the most perfect conditions all the time, because they're not going to be the most perfect conditions all the time. These people get paid millions of dollars to figure out your run scheme, your pass scheme, and they're going to figure out how to stop you at one point. They're going to figure out how to plug up those lanes. And man, I was posting some videos on Twitter of I was watching the all 22 tape, just kind of some of the stuff I seen. The Saints linebackers weren't falling for these zone schemes. They were staying in their line. They're staying in their blocks. Their gap integrity was really, really sound, and that is just a credit to Dennis Allen. He's got that team rolling on defense, which is usually their Achilles heel. Marshawn Lattimore is the real deal. They finally got some secondary help there. But another thing I noticed, a lot of people are saying this team has given up, this team's quit. That might be true on some levels. That might be true for some players, but that is not true for Gerald McCoy and Levante David. I'm sick of people attacking them. Well, not as much Levante. They were attacking him last year, but I'm sick of people attacking them. Guys, this is just simple football. I know whenever we lose, you have to have someone to blame. You have to have a scapegoat. But when you blame the defensive tackles on a loss, or you blame such and such on a loss, no, that's wrong. If Gerald's getting double and triple teamed, the pressure should come from elsewhere. You can't sit here and be like, oh, Gerald's got to beat double teams. He has to win. Well, in that same breath, you also have to say, what the hell is Robert Ayers doing? What the hell is Will Golston doing? What the hell is anybody doing? And I know our defensive line isn't made to get to the quarterback right now. It's not. Our interior pressure might be the best thing we got. But from far as the defensive end goes, Robert Ayers is getting his sacks, he's getting his pressures, but he's not it. Will Golston is just a run defender. He's not it. You cannot blame this all on Gerald McCoy. And I feel bad for Levante David, because once again, he's having a Pro Bowl season. He's having a great season, and he was out for weeks. He is making plays. The game was still in reach. It was 9-0. Levante knocks the ball out of Alvin Kamara's hands, and we still couldn't do nothing with it. Still couldn't do nothing with it. Another thing I'm noticing here, if you go look at any PFF stat anywhere, the best quarterbacks in the league with the most efficiency, passer ratings, and things like that, Drew Brees gets the ball off so fast, it's like 2.2 seconds. As soon as the ball snapped, he takes one look this way and one look this way, and that ball is gone. You have 2.3 seconds to either get to him or get him out of the pocket. And our defensive line couldn't get to somebody if they had 4 seconds right now. It's just not working. But that's also a credit to Drew Brees being one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. Because getting the ball out that fast takes a lot of knowledge of knowing exactly where your players are going to be, knowing exactly what the defense is doing. And another thing I noticed is Vernon Hargreaves wasn't on the outside as much this game. And I think he only played 28 snaps. Something like that. After he played his best game in Carolina, I think I've seen him play in almost 2 years. He wasn't even hardly playing this game. I'm sure that was scheme. Trevor Sikkema has said it had something to do with the scheme, things like that. But it's just frustrating because I'm not even sure even how to feel about the Jets game, because I don't know if, and also we might be without our left tackles. No matter how good or bad they're playing, they're still our starting left tackles. We might left and right tackles. Excuse me, getting a little hyped up here like Jameis, but we might be without them. We're gonna be without Jameis. We're gonna be without Mike Evans. I'm excited to see Chris Godwin. Hopefully Fitzpatrick get him the ball some, because he's our future. But I don't know how to feel about this game. Now, honestly, I feel like this isn't a must-win game for the playoff race. This isn't a must-win game for any of that. This is a must-win game for just getting that winning feeling back. We haven't had it in 6 games. We need to get some type of confidence. It doesn't matter which game you win. When you win, it cures everything. It cures everything. We have to get this game. Not just from a playoff standpoint, like I said, just from a pure, happy feeling walking back into the locker room, not being down 7 games straight, losing. Like, no. You have to win this game. It doesn't matter what you have to do. And against the Jets, if you told me at the beginning of the season that we would be facing a confidence-boosting game against the Jets in the middle of the damn season, I would have said you're crazy. We have too much talent. The defense knows how to play now. They've gone from playing checkers to chess. They know, they understand what's going on, and somehow they're regressing. So, with that being said, I'm worried about us playing the Jets. We love making subpar quarterbacks look like Tom Brady. They pick us apart. We make Case Keenum look like he should have already had 2 Super Bowls. He just looks that good. So, I don't know. But with all that being said, I really just... I know we're already looking to the draft. I mean, we're pretty much all but eliminated from the playoffs, except for maybe a few, 3 or 4 scenarios I was looking at. But you don't control your own destiny, and that is not where you want to be. The best thing that I can see us doing is we're already... I don't want to say we're done, but if we can't at least win, I don't know, at least 7 more games, I think Dirk Cutter's gone. I mean, with our record now, we would have to win out the rest of our games to be 10-6. That's not good. Now, if you look at the rest of our record, we still have a lot of division play because we didn't play our division opponent until week 8. We still have to play Miami. We're going to play the Jets today. I mean, we still have some games that it looks like they could be W's on our schedule. We got to play Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers. We still got to play the Lions. Not to mention we haven't even played the Falcons yet. This is a team that is looking very, very, very vulnerable. The Panthers, I think, just benefited from Jameis having one of the worst games of his career, and maybe his shoulder was really hurt. And when I was watching the game in the beginning, I think when Jameis got sacked and he got hit and he fell right on his shoulder again, I think that affected him. The Saints game, Jameis' shoulder just didn't look that hurt, man. He did one play, he threw one ball where Deshaun Jackson was wide open. Jameis throws the ball completely out of bounds. Like, he ripped that ball. And if you have any type of tear in your rotator cuff or any type of AC joint sprain or whatever, man, that is a hard throw right there. So I'm not sure exactly how hurt Jameis' shoulder is, but I think after this game, they realized, especially after that sack, that he can't get it healthy if he's going to keep getting hit. His shoulder's not going to get healthy unless they can let him sit. And honestly, I feel like this is good. I feel like this is a good thing. Because at Florida State, whenever Jameis had to sit because he wanted to be an immature kid and yell that popular news photobomb phrase, I'm not even going to say it on the podcast because I have family listen to it. But you know what it was. It was a really dirty slur. When he had to sit and watch his team beat Clemson without him, that was an eye-opener. And I'm not saying Jameis is being immature or anything like that, even though he did do his little poke of Marshall Lattimore. You're the quarterback, you're the leader, you're not in college no more. You need to sit on that sideline and talk to your players or talk to whoever. Don't be on the sideline being all hyped and poking people in the back. That doesn't look good, all right? I still think he's a franchise quarterback. I do. Would I want him for anybody else? Or would I trade him for anybody else? No. Can I think of about 12 other teams that would gladly take him off our hands? Yes. But he needs to sit back. Just watch. Because if Ryan Fitzpatrick, whenever he comes in, the offense looks more alive. I'm sorry to say it does. When Fitzpatrick comes in, everybody's getting the ball. The ball is being spread around, taking check downs. Of course, he's going to throw his couple bonehead interceptions every now and again. But he needs to sit and just watch. He needs to sit and realize, damn, I'm on the sideline, and just sit and pay attention to how Fitzpatrick acts like a professional. Fitzpatrick's not going to get in that huddle and scream and whatever. He's just going to go about his business. And Ryan Fitzpatrick's not a game changer. I mean, he was at one point a little bit in 2015 and maybe when he was in Buffalo. But I think this is going to be a great thing. But like I said, this game right here is a must-win for confidence. If we lose to the Jets, even though they're playing great, they've been playing a lot of teams really tough, really close. If we lose to the Jets, Dirk Cutter's going to lose this locker room completely. Completely. That's just how I feel. All right, guys. Well, it's time to get ready. I'm gonna go for a little walk, clear my mind, come back, get ready to watch this Bucks game at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. So I hope everybody has a good day, and go Bucks.